Let's talk about your Advent yarn. You know, that gorgeous box of mini skeins that's all perfectly nestled in their little numbered boxes, just waiting for you. Now, let's be real. It was designed to give you that little thrill every single day that you get when you open a new parcel of color. And you waited all year for this. You watched the spoilers. You debated the colorways. And you finally went for it. You got the box. And for 24 glorious days, you opened a tiny, perfectly packaged little bundle of yarn. And it's gorgeous. It's inspiring, but it's a little much. You're just staring at a pile of 24 mini skeins, and you're totally paralyzed. The colors are amazing, but how do they even go together? I mean, the fear is real, and it's stopping you from casting on because suddenly you're paralyzed by the sheer number of choices, terrified that you're going to waste the perfect yarn on the wrong project. And you're worried the colors won't play nicely together, that you'll run out of a skein mid-row, or whatever you make just won't live up to the beauty of the yarn itself. Oh, I get it. This is precisely what's kept me from ordering the Advent yarn. It was just too intimidating. I was convinced that no project I would ever pick would be worthy. But today we're gonna break free. So take a deep breath, let me be your guide, and together we're going to escape the paralysis. I'm going to show you exactly how to turn that box of overwhelm into projects you will absolutely love. From quick, satisfying little knits to jaw-dropping statement pieces, we're going to walk through the absolute best patterns for these kits. My goal, to get you so excited that you'll cast on today, knowing that you're about to make something that you will truly love. Hey, naughty knitters. Welcome back to the French Knot, my little corner of the internet where I love to talk about all the nitty, fibery, yarny topics each week. If this is your first time, big ol' welcome to you. I'm so glad you found us. I'm Tanya, also known as A Naughty Knitter 2 on Instagram and Ravelry. I live in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's a cute little mountain lake town in the Pacific Northwest with Mr. Knot and our 3 French bulldogs, which you're going to hear grunting because I'm down in the living room, as you can see by my undecorated Christmas tree. So I apologize if that's annoying. I'll try to edit most of it out, I promise. Now, grab your knitting, settle in with a cup of coffee. I've got my water here, and let's dive in. I want to start out with what I'm wearing. This is the Rosie by Lane Knit. Look at her. I knit her with Knitting for Olive Merino, held with silk mohair in the colorways Oatmeal and Dark Cognac. I knit her in a size 2, and I did a vlog detailing everything. So if you're interested in that, I will link right here. Go watch that and then come back. Now, let's get into it. The thing about an Advent set is that it's not just yarn. It's a box full of possibilities. And with up to 24 different colors, those possibilities can feel infinite and a little chaotic. So the secret is finding that pattern that acts similar to a movie director with our yarn. Some patterns give each color a dramatic solo, letting it have its moment in the spotlight. But others act more as a choir master, blending all 24 voices into a cohesive harmony. I have taken the liberty of curating over 40 patterns that'll take your yarn Advent from box to needles and make you want to cast on now. Because there are so many patterns, we're not going to cover all the nitty-gritty details of each, but I'm just going to give you a general overview. If you want more details of any of these patterns, I have linked a bundle in the description box below. So grab your knitting, cozy drink, let's dive in. The best way to break out of this project paralysis is to score a quick win. Let's start with the small projects that give you that amazing feeling of a quick finish. You know, those small projects give you that amazing, look what I made, dopamine hit without the daunting commitment of a sweater or a giant blanket. You get to play with color combos on a small scale and see how they vibe together. And most importantly, actually get to start using that gorgeous yarn. So if you're the kind of person who opened your calendar day by day and just wanted to knit a little something right now, this section is for you. These are also fantastic for using up any leftovers from a bigger project that you might have taken on. Let's start with the ever-popular cowl. They're a huge deal for Advent sets, and for a good reason. You know, they're the perfect canvas for playing with color, and they don't demand the same yardage or commitment as a giant shawl would. Let's start out with the CatVent Cowl. This pattern was practically born for the Advent season. The CatVent Cowl, designed by Marna Gilligan, is a charming pattern It's worked in the round and has these little bits of cat-inspired color work and texture and is the perfect Advent knit. It is specifically written for 24 10-gram minis, so it's designed to use a little bit from every single day. Sections feature cat faces, boppable noses, silly little tongues, and the result is this whimsical wearable story of your December knitting. It is a fantastic way to also practice your stranded color work without having to commit to a big sweater. But if you do want a big sweater, she also has the CatVent pattern in a sweater. How cute is that? I just love this pattern. It's adorable. Next up, if you're looking for something a bit more minimalistic and modern, check out the Scratch Solstice Cowl by Jen Peck. Guys, this pattern, oh my God. So she actually has two sizes. There's a larger one that's designed for the full rainbow of colors, and then a smaller one for a select 6. Both sizes also require a main color in addition to the Advent yarn. But when you put it all together, it creates this gradient-like effect that looks so polished. It's like a watercolor painting where the colors just kind of gently bleed into one another. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's the kind of project where people will ask, where did you get that amazing yarn? Not actually realizing that it was 24 different skeins. She does an amazing job. It is gorgeous. You got to check this out. Now, the Simply Scrappy Cowl by Helen Stewart is a perfect palette for your Advent. It is designed for 24 colors of sock yarn and creates a super long, cozy loop that'll cover your neck and keep you super cozy. The pattern has some simple eyelets, so the focus stays mostly on the gorgeous yarn and the color changes. It only uses about 5 grams per color, so you're going to have plenty left for other small to medium projects. So check it out. It's a good one. Another brilliant choice would be the Litmus Cowl by Jude Harper, which is a huge favorite for Advent knitters. This is a basic recipe for creating a striped cowl, which uses about 5 grams per mini. It's knit in the round, so it's very beginner friendly. The color changes are simple, and it is a perfect project for that small dopamine hit. And the way that she has it shown here, it's pretty long, and so she double loops it, so it really makes this thick cowl around your neck to keep your neck warm in the winter. But she also shows it where she drapes it and has it more of a statement piece. It's versatile as well. Now, if you want to play with texture, the 5 Mini Cowl by Gil Slater looks fabulous. This pattern uses cool cables and ribbing to make this stunning fabric with just 5 minis. It's a great way to test out one little section of your Advent gradient. The cable patterns add such amazing texture and dimension, and they look relatively simple, and so I think even an adventurous beginner would have no problem with this. Now, beyond cowls, a simple scarf can be the perfect mindless knit to let your Advent colors do all the work. Because that's really the goal, right? The Mini Mafia Scarf by Sarah Core is a fantastic free pattern that you have to look up. It uses simple linen stitch, works sideways, which is just a brilliant way to use mini skeins. The linen stitch acts as like this pointillistic painter. You know those paintings where they use the tiny dabs of color? That's what she does here. She uses the linen stitch, acts like a pointillistic painter, using tiny dabs of color to create this cohesive fabric. It looks almost like a woven fabric and easily breaks up any harsh color changes. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's wide, and so when you wrap that around, oh, cozy. I love that. I live in North Idaho, so I love that. You also knit it sideways, so you can just go until the scarf is the length you want, or until you run out of yarn. So it's the ultimate low stress, high impact project. No worries here. Now, the True Color Scarf by Melanie Berg is a pattern that includes roadmaps, which roadmaps are these printable checklists to help those who struggle with concentration by providing clear guidance to the knitter, allowing you to check off each row as you complete it. Now, this technique was designed to aid cancer patients struggling with chemo brain, but it's ideal for anyone struggling with concentration issues, and it's beautiful to boot. The Advent Scarf by Emma Carter is a simple project to use up mini skeins. This is knit in the round and designed with color blocks, which makes it extremely accessible for all levels of knitters. You could even use your mini scraps from other projects to complete this one. Or you can use the entire set and make a huge scarf. The options are endless. And then we have the Advent Scarf by Tricia Weatherston. Now, it's a rectangular scarf, and it's a modular knit of garter stitch mitered squares. The pattern is actually 51 pages long, so caution before just going and printing it. Now, although it's written for Advent, scrap yarn is obviously easily substituted, But guys, look at this. This is like a work of art. This is absolutely fantastic. And I can't imagine an advent it wouldn't work with. And imagine the attention that it would draw when that's wrapped around your neck. Oh my gosh. I absolutely adore this. Beautiful. Check it out. But be careful before you print it. All right. And hey, don't underestimate a good hat, a pair of mittens, or a good old-fashioned pair of socks. So the Squad Mittens by Ann Weaver are a go-to in the knitting world for using up minis. They're perfect for color blocking and turning each mitten into a little study of how the colors might work or play together. You can get several pair out of one advent set, and so that would make perfect gifts. So something to consider, using your minis for holiday gifts. Just a thought, if you have a few people on your list that you still haven't gotten anything for, might be an idea. With a Fair Isle Advent calendar, you're going to create a stocking cap or a cowl in 24 days. Or you could take an emergency exit to turn the cap into a head-hugging beanie. Each day is presented as a stranded color work chart knit in the round. All charts can be worked using just 2 colors, but you could use more. Your color choices are going to determine whether your project is classic or a modern interpretation of the traditional Fair Isle motifs. Options are, again, endless. So regardless of how many colors you pick, all the rounds have short floats, making it a quick knit. The pattern also includes tips for choosing colors, so that's really nice. It's guest proof. The Advent socks by Natalie Sheldon are designed to be knit for the Advent, the 12 days, or Christmas. The pattern is written as a cuff down, forethought heel sock, but she says with some minor adjustments and manipulations of the charts, it would be easy to convert to toe up if that's your preferred method. But how cute is this? Look at those little motifs. We have acorns and we have mistletoe. Those are adorable. And I just love the different renditions and the different colors. It looks like a completely different sock. It's crazy to me. All right. Finally, you could lean into the festive spirit and knit a whole bunch of tiny decorations. The Yuletide Mini Sock Advent by Cape May Fibers is a pattern that's adorable. It's decorative stockings that are meant to be knit with DK weight yarn and strung up as garland. Each one is a tiny individual project, perfect for one evening of knitting. And at the end, you can have this beautiful handmade heirloom that you can use for years. But I could also see it as gifts. You have 24 little gifts that you can give away and people can hang them on their trees as decorations. Or you can hang them on your own tree for decorations. Maybe that's what I'll do since I don't have any decorations on my tree. Oh goodness, I know. That's for another day. All right. And there are also patterns like the 24-day Advent socks, which are set up like a daily calendar to keep you on track to finish a pair by Christmas. Using less than 10 grams of each color, this is such a cool way to create a wearable memory of your Advent calendar. Okay, we've covered some really fun ways to get started. Which one of these really quick wins is calling your name? Are you maybe feeling a cozy cowl or a pair of festive socks? Let me know in the comments below which project you'd cast on first. Now, for those of you who looked at your 24 mini skeins and thought, I want to use them all at once, this section is for you. This is where we talk about the showstoppers, the big shawls, the wraps, the blankets that are designed to eat up the entire Advent calendar and turn it into a true piece of art. Shawls are probably the #1 way to use a full Advent set. Their construction just begs for color changes, and you can often just keep knitting until you run out of yarn. A fantastic place to start would be the Forage shawl by Helen Stewart. Helen Stewart is a master of mini skein patterns, and this one was made with Advent minis in mind. It has this easy to memorize but beautiful lace pattern, and then this beautiful decorative edge that serves as this picture frame for the vibrant paintings of your color. It's just gorgeous. I'm romanticizing it a little bit, but it is really, really gorgeous. It's designed to let the colors really be the star of the show while adding just enough detail to keep you from getting bored. This is gorgeous. And it looks like that lace would be pretty easy to do. I don't think it would be complicated. And looks like there are some mindless rows as well in between the lace. So I think you would do fine. Now, a giant in the world of scrappy, colorful shawls is none other than Stephen West. His patterns are bold, graphic, and just plain fun. Perfect for knitters who aren't afraid to play. Now, his painting brick shawl is a masterpiece that creates a mosaic-like fabric that looks super complex, but is a total joy to knit. The big lesson from his designs is the power of unifying colors. By framing all your minis with one consistent main color, you tie the whole piece together and turn chaos into this cohesive design. It's really just spectacular and would be perfection with almost any advent calendar that you could find. Now the Mini Cowl or wrap. This is a pattern by Amba O'Brien. Now she designs a ton of advent patterns, but this particular one is perfect for holiday advents. But it could also be used with scraps or full skeins of your favorite yarn. Possibilities are endless. You could leave it as a wrap or convert it into a double layered cowl. Instructions are also provided for a shorter length cowl. So she has tons of options in this. Now the pattern, it alternates these waves of garter with delicate lace for this stunning effect. It's really pretty. And again, she uses a main color between the advent minis to help create a cohesive look. Sorry about that shaking, my dog just bumped the camera. But back to the Lamina. The way that she does that is really gorgeous. Now the Prison Path Shawl by Brittany Garber. It's part of the Sisters Not Twins series. Have you heard of that? It's a series that celebrates crochet and knitting patterns of the same design, but each has their own unique twist. It blends elegance and whimsy with this diamond to triangle construction. It's really cool. The pattern is beginner friendly and it's designed for 1 full skein and 12 minis. And so if you have a 24 skein advent, you could use half of it for the crochet version and half of it for the knit version if you do both crafts. Or maybe you have a friend that you want to split the advent with that does the craft that you don't do. So that's an option too, but how fun. Then you guys could have sister shawls. So that would be fun. 24 Skeins Go Crazy by Marion Bullen. This is an adaptation of her Metro Lines wrap, but instead of working a simple rectangle, you're gonna take it to the next level. So you're gonna make a zigzag pattern with these simple increases and decreases, and then you're going to leave these little eyelets in it, and then later you're going to weave bands of knitting into those eyelets. How cool is that? I've never seen a construction like this, and it is really spectacular. And it's very interesting how adding those bands seems to make it more cohesive and of course also more cool. But I am very intrigued by that and how they do that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Little Gemstones by Claire Slade is the perfect pattern for an advent set or any mini skeins you might have lying around. This shawl is knit in one piece from the bottom up, and the gems are knit as you go using short rows, but you're not having to pick up stitches or seam. By the time you're done, you've created 78 individual gems. Each gem uses around 9 yards of yarn. So what a scrap buster this could be. And then again, kind of using that technique of having a main color, you are able to create a very cohesive shawl regardless of the variety in your advent. The Wonderland shawl was designed by Black Cat Knitting Company, and it was designed with advents in mind, but it uses 24 skeins in DK weight. This shawl explores the repetitive, simple textures while fading all the beautiful yarns together to create this cozy, wearable, one-of-a-kind piece. It is really pretty, guys. I love the way that she uses a fade to add to the cohesiveness. It's really cool. Yeah, so that's a beautiful design as well. Now, Shawl the Minis by Sarah Shira uses 9 mini skeins, but it's easy to adapt. This shawl is simple to knit and so potato chippy. It would end up being a perfect travel project because how many of us have travel plans for Christmas season? I bet a lot of us. But the shawl is triangular in shape and it alternates stockinette with these garter ridges. So it's simple, but just enough variety to keep you invested. The pattern also includes the checklists and end of round counts to help keep you on track. I love that. I hate doing increases on a shawl and not being quite sure if my counts are right. So I love having end of row counts, but maybe that's just me. Now the La Fade by Hedgehog Fibers uses 24 mini skeins. Now the marling in fade is achieved by holding 2 fingering weights of yarn together. And then you knit this crescent shape shawl. It can also work wonderful with solids, speckles, variegated yarns, kind of anything. Because of the marling that you do, it just kind of makes anything work. And then that fan and feather lace looks like just enough variety to keep you engaged again through the entire project. But how beautiful is that, guys? That's really pretty. And I don't have a crescent shawl, so I would be interested to see how that's constructed. So now the Ribbon Candy Wrap by Dawn Barker is a cozy knitted rectangular stole that's got this simple striped linen stitch pattern again with these 4 puffy corner tassels. Now the linen stitch gives the appearance of hand woven cloth, and I think it's beautiful. I just love that look of the linen stitch. Now, I've not done the linen stitch, but I think it's gorgeous and I would love to try it. Now, this wrap was designed to use 24 20-gram minis and one full additional skein of a main color. And this shawl is going to be huge. It's going to be 15 by 90. Can you imagine how many times you could wrap that around yourself? Oh, that's gorgeous. If you don't like those little tassels, you don't have to put them on, but I think they're just kind of a cute little embellishment. The Good Things Shawl by Sosu. Now, this is a colorful modular chevron shawl. It's knit in brioche and garter stitch. Each segment of the shawl is worked top down in stripes of brioche and garter using 2 yarn bases, a fingering and a lace. But she includes options for doing it with just fingering as well. But the chevron pattern is actually created by just reversing the order of the stitch pattern and yarns and then working the shaping on the opposite edges from the first segments. It sounds a little confusing, but I think once you get into it, it would be fine. It does feature a modular construction, so the first 4 segments are knit separately, and then the final 4 is where you knit them together, connecting all the pieces. Now, she includes options for this. You have the option of using 12 colors, each in 2 bases, or knitting it with the 24 mini skeins. But I think this would make a beautiful Advent project. Now, it also includes a video tutorial for that modular construction. So if you were a little confused by my description, no worries. She's got you covered. Now, the end product of this is absolutely spectacular. And again, more of a piece of art than a shawl. But yeah, that would be pretty spectacular. All right. The Gift Wrap by Christy Houghton is a free and fun, easy garter stitch wrap that can be knit with 12 mini skeins or scraps. And after you knit the first section with your first color, then on you're going to begin each section with a garter row and then a bobble row to add this delicate touch to the wrap. It's just this perfect detail that helps to separate each color section. I think especially if you have a fade, that would be really helpful to really give some distinction between the colors. But it is really pretty. And those bobbles are very delicate, and I don't think they'd be super hard to knit. But that, yeah, super cool. Now, the Anytime Advent Shawl by Adele Gardner is another free pattern that's designed for 24 mini skeins. Now, this one features 6 repeatable blocks of different stitch patterns, and then it has built-in I-cord on either side. These blocks of different stitch patterns are going to add so much visual interest on top of the color changes. I think this would be spectacular. Now, the longer edges of the shawl are intentionally designed to kind of flare out, but she also includes instructions to avoid that flare if you don't want that. So you have options. The Brilliant Brickwork by Amy Crumpton is a large shawl, and it almost falls into that shanket category. It's intended to use 24 mini skeins plus additional main color. Now, this is a fun combination of changing yarn colors, relaxing garter stitch, and interesting construction methods to provide this addictive knitting experience which we all crave. The project is really designed for adventurous beginners and beyond. The pattern provides the row by row instructions, end of row counts throughout the project to keep you on track, and the rectangular wrap is created with garter, like I said, with garter stitch and then slip stitch edges for a nice finish. But the actual construction itself is more reminiscent of that log cabin type knitting where the stitches are picked up using the slipped edge stitches from the previous sections. So it's ultimately created with 2 pieces, which are then joined at the center with the side triangles. So there's actually no seaming necessary. How awesome is that? All right, the Cafe Corner Wrap by Christy Houghton is this cozy garter stitch wrap that's really designed for both versatility and comfort. It's designed for 12 mini skeins. This rectangular wrap has color block chevrons that allow you to create a personally appealing color scheme. Each section is divided by 2 slip stitch rows, which create this perfectly simple detail between each color change. The design is really simple yet elegant, and again, it's ideal for all skill levels. So all knitters need apply. The Polaris Wrap by Vera Valmaki, I believe is how you pronounce that. This wrap was obviously inspired by the quilting tradition, but it is spectacular and it is going to keep your interest to the very last bits of yarn are used up. It's done in simple garter stitches and finished with an I-cord edge. But guys, the visual interest that you're going to get with this is something else. And when she has it all laid out there, it is jaw-dropping gorgeous. This is really pretty. Oof, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to choose, I think. The Log Rhythms by Renee Strauss was partially inspired by Dragon Tales. And she uses log cabin construction again. But with this one, Each new block is joined on top of the previous ones, but each tier of block in the scarf gets wider but shorter, so it creates this tapered, expanding shape. How cool is that? Now, the designer does give you a caveat that the pattern is free, but it has not been test knit nor tech edited. So, knitter beware. The In Tangential Advent Mystery Knit Along of 2025. This is an Advent shawl by Renee Strauss, and it's one of those knit along style releases. But she says there will be 24 total updates to the pattern, one for each day. It's already started December 1st. Of 2025, but you can join along at any time. They do have a Ravelry group, and the first post is going to contain frequently asked questions, color suggestions, and some mild spoilers, so be careful. She promises long stretches of meditated, mostly brainless knitting. So this could be the perfect holiday project between all the chaos that the holidays bring. Wrap It Real Good by Amba O'Brien is designed to make the most of your Advent. You can arrange your minis in a fade or work them random. You get to wrap yourself in this luxury at the end with this addictive and easy to memorize lace pattern that creates a very light but also warm fabric. I love this lace. It is gorgeous. Now, she says it can be knit in fingering or DK. So, with the shawl, does it really matter? You might just have a bigger shawl, right? Turn your shawl into a shanket by making it in DK, I guess. But that is gorgeous. Now, if you're looking for something that's truly built for that day-by-day Advent experience, you have to see Counting the Days by Lauren Rose. Now, this shawl is knit in horizontal stripes, designed for 24 skeins, but it's easily adaptable. The simple stripe design makes it the perfect yarn journal, letting you capture the memory of each day's color in just a few meditative rows. But look at the pattern in that. I think it would be really easy to memorize. There's a lot of garter, and then that lace motif between. Now, if you want to go all in and create a true family heirloom, a blanket is the way to go, for sure. These projects are a commitment, no question, but they're going to become a permanent cozy record of your beautiful yarn. Now, the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose is constructed using 4 different types of squares, which are then joined using short rows and picking up stitches. So there's no seaming involved. You can add as many squares as you wish. You can create a square or rectangular blanket as small or large as you'd like. She does incorporate a smooth and neat edging as you make the blanket, but there's also instructions to add an I-cord at the end as well to give it a more polished look. Now, the Anthology Throw by Helen Stewart is gravitas. The word anthology comes from 2 Greek words, which means flower, and logia, which means collection. So anthology is a gathering of flowers, and it's a beautiful name for this exuberant throw. With its garden full of colors and textures, it is designed to use a set of 24 minis. And this would look especially wonderful in a gradient set. The throw is circular. It's a circular pie-inspired project. It's big and versatile enough to work as a blanket or use it as a generous wrap. You could drape it over the couch for epic snuggle sessions or double it up into this extra cozy shawl. Its sheer scale may seem daunting, but trust me, it's so easy and comforting to make. It's just knit, 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 knit in a circle with eyelet rounds for increases and a little interest. And then you have this simple chevron border and boom, done. But how gorgeous is that, you guys? I just love that. The Delight pattern by Lauren Nelkin is a stunning example of a pattern that is written up for both DK or fingering. Now, it's described as a massive shawl that could easily double as a blanket, a shanklet again, if you will. It's designed for 24 mini skeins and has versions for both fingering and DK weight. So it's incredibly versatile. Start at the tip, and it's worked with this simple mitered square shaping. So the Delight has garter stitch sections that alternate with stockinette, but also incorporate these elongated stitches and short row wedges in the middle of them. This project is going to command some attention and become a centerpiece in your home. Guys, do you see the size of that? Bang! She's gorgeous. All right. Now, included in this, because there are some new techniques, are extensive video tutorials and support. So don't be intimidated. She's got you. Now, for the truly adventurous knitters, you could even tackle a sweater with your Advent. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sweater from Mini Skeins? Sounds a little daunting, right? Like trying to build a beautiful mosaic from hundreds of tiny individual tiles, but it's absolutely possible. And I can tell you that the results are going to be spectacular. The trick is finding the pattern that leans into that scrappy multicolored vibe that we're going for. A perfect example is the Countdown Cardi by Shenanigans Designs. This cardigan is worked side to side instead of top to bottom, which means instead of stacking your colors like pancakes in horizontal stripes, you're lining them up like books on a shelf, creating vertical stripes, which is really unique and flattering to show off your Advent colors. Now it's designed for holding 2 strands of sock together, or you can use a single strand of DK weight. Now, if you want to transform your yarn into a collection of stunning wearable works of art, the Sea Glass sweater is for you. It is perfect for this. It's designed for scraps, and it creates this beautiful mosaic fabric with 1x1 color work. So it's worked seamless top down in the round, and there's no weaving in ends, because the pattern is going to come with video tutorials covering various methods to manage those yarn ends. My God, you guys, I might have to get the pattern just for that. And she says that there's more techniques than just the magic knot for that. So I think just that would make the pattern worth it. Not to mention the stunning design. How beautiful is this? I mean, guys, gorgeous. Now the Kintra by Rebecca Clow is also top down round yoke sweater worked in 1x1 color work. The way that she's written it, regardless what size you knit, you're going to have enough in your mini skeins to complete this project. She designed it this way for Advents. It has 1x1 color work, so it's great for beginners because there's no long floats and you're only ever using 2 colors at a time. And in typical Rebecca fashion, the pattern includes instructions for both DK and fingering weight yarn. So that is a winner, I would say. Patterns like the Paul Klee sweater by Midori Hirose use a main color for the body and then bring the Advent minis in for stunning color work. You can use as many or as few colors as you wish. So you could just use part of your Advent for this and still give a truly unique wearable piece of art that really shows it off. The common thread in all of these amazing large projects is that they are built for variety, right? They use simple stitches, garter, stockinette, easy lace to let the colors do the talking. They embrace the fade, the contrast, and the pure joy of watching a new color pop up on your needles, right? Now I want you to think of that beautiful box of yarn sitting on your shelf, not as a test you have to pass, but as an invitation to play. Come play with me. It's a collection of potential. It's a story just waiting to be told with your stitches. Now, whether you start small with a single cowl or go all in with a massive blanket, the goal is the same. Get that yarn out of the box and turn it into something that brings you warmth and joy this holiday season. Now, I really hope this has inspired you to dust off your Advent calendar. Remember that yarn is meant to be knit, not just admired. All of the patterns I've mentioned today, plus a few more, are linked in the description box below. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and you're feeling ready to tackle your stash, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips on making the most of your yarn. And I would absolutely love to see what you create. So please tag me in your posts on social media. I can't wait to see you break free. Until next time, happy knitting!